Hey all, this is Julia Katsivo, business coach. I want to talk to you today about social media and marketing. I've received a lot of questions over the last few weeks about what social media channels to use for marketing and how often to post on social media and actually what to say. And so just after listening to question after question after question over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I said, okay, we need to talk about this. And it's actually perfect timing because it's in alignment with my event that's coming up on April 27th. And I'll tell you about that at the end. So first things first. When it comes to social media and when it comes to how often you post on it and what to say, these are the rules that I follow. The first thing is you have to know where your person is. So a lot of times what people do is they look at what's happening around them and they say, well, my peers are on Facebook Live and they're on LinkedIn and they're on Instagram and they're on Pinterest and they're on, and there's that idea that because people are on these platforms, I need to be on them too. Not true. The only thing that should direct and dictate where you should be showing up is where are your clients? Where are your ideal clients? What do they use to get their information? What do they use to communicate with each other? And more importantly, where do they go when they're really frustrated about their problem? They can't get an answer to their problem and they're trying to figure out a distraction. Where do they go to get distracted? And that's where you want to be. So that social media channel is going to be the one in which your people are absolutely there. As an example of what I mean by distraction is that if you are in the career, if you're in career, what you'll find is that a lot of people who their potential are not being used to the fullest, or they're dissatisfied with their jobs, or they're just not happy where they are and they feel sort of stuck. A lot of them will, go and look at topics on LinkedIn, or they will use Facebook and use that time to comment on other people's posts and share things that they believe in. And that's sort of like their escape route. At the same time, there are a lot of people who will go on LinkedIn to find information to help them advance in their career. So it's, again, being really wise to what platforms do your people use. And the fastest way to determine this is to know what your people's psychological triggers are. So all humans are triggered to action based on things that happen behind the scenes. And if you want to market the best way possible to your people, you have to understand what their psychological triggers are. And this means that you need to go really deep into what it is that you're doing, why it is that you're doing it, how it is that you're changing lives, and look at that little crux in there, like that part where, you're changing lives and what you do, and understand deeply why you do what you do so that you can market using the psychological triggers and drive people to action, so that it's not just looking at what it is that you present and saying, okay, I've seen her, I've read her, and then moving on. You want them to take action. So always being aware of that. So when your person is most triggered, where do they go for comfort? Human beings, if we can't find solutions, then we find remedies. We find ways to distract ourselves from the pain. So when you think about the issue that you're solving, where do your people go to find resolution? And you want to be there. You want to be there with the right kind of content at the right time so that you can make an impact and you can actually have them interested in what you want to say and buying from you. The other thing to take into consideration is your revenue goals. So when I'm asked, so the first question was, where should I be posting my social media on? And as I mentioned, you need to know where your people are. And that's where you should be. And you need to specifically go where they go when they're just full of angst and they're looking for a solution. That's where you need to go. It may be places that you're not comfortable with, not familiar with. You may be asked to, write or interview for magazines you've never even tried before, or podcasts, things like those. But if your people are there, you owe it to them to show up there as well. And the second question is how frequently. Well, again, we have people who make their decisions based on what they see or based on what they think sounds right. And it's true, you're going to go for marketing conferences and read up on their books and whatnot, and they'll tell you, no less than 50 posts a day on Twitter because, after 10 seconds, it's obsolete. No less than one video every 1 to 2 weeks on YouTube because longevity is longer on YouTube. Facebook, you get away with 1 to 3 videos a week. Yeah, we have those stats. But really, the key question that I would ask you is, what is your revenue goal? And this is how I create my marketing plan for myself and for my clients, is we look at your revenue goal. We look at how much you need to make at that by that year. And then we look at your services and products, the things that you're going to sell to make that goal. And then we create the campaigns around your products and services so that you can hit those goals. So as an example, maybe what you need to make in the first quarter is not going to be the same amount as the second or the third quarter. It's going to be different based on what it is that we're going to be selling at those key times, based on what's going on throughout the year, not just in your business, but also in the world, and also, you know, with the seasons and that kind of stuff. And then, okay, so based on what we need to sell, what kind of campaigns do we need to put out? You know, you'll see that it's really important to create campaigns around what it is that you're doing, because the number one mistake that I see people make when it comes to marketing is they assume that if they just show up, you know, just before the launch of a product, or if they just show up and they're consistent for maybe a week or two and then that's it, that they've bought themselves enough purchasing power within the community that people will sign up and buy from them. But that's not true. Marketing is mainly a long game. When you're doing the things you're doing, you have to also remember that you're going to see maybe 2/3 of your results down the line. It's not immediate. So marketing is sort of like investing. It's sort of like making a long-term investment where you take a chunk of your money and you buy into a product that's not going to mature for about 10, 20 years. That's what you're doing here. Now, it's not going to take that long, but depending on how much you put in, that's what you're going to get out. And so that's why it's important to look at marketing as that long-term game that you're playing. And alongside it, you have your campaigns for your products and services so that you can get the word out, attract the right people, get on the phone with them, and have, you know, the exchange of money for value. But mainly, you want to create a marketing calendar that is not to compete with the people around you, but a calendar that is sustainable so that you can keep up with it no matter what's going on in your life, and that it speaks to the 3 different stages of your client's buying journey. And by this, I mean that your marketing material is not sporadic. You didn't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, today I'm going to talk about the weather. And then the next day you get up and you say, you know what, today I feel like talking about, you know, that's all fine and dandy. But if it is a marketing calendar, that's not going to work for you. It has to speak specifically to your client's journey. So your client has different stages of the journey that they'll always be at any given time. You need to make material that speaks to them in those different stages. And the material needs to have a very relevant and hot call to action, something that they need immediately. And when we talk about the call to action at the end of the material, it has to be something that is just a natural conclusion for them, that it just makes sense for them to sign up for it or to attend or to listen for more. You always want to break it down into the little steps so that your person isn't thinking too much. You know, you don't want someone to be like, do I need that? Should I take that now? Can I wait? You want to eradicate all those questions. You want to just get rid of all that by giving them the next logical conclusion. I can only say so much here. I go in depth into the marketing strategy, the marketing calendar, and then we create your marketing calendar for the year. I do this on Saturday, April 27th, and this is at my live event, Successful and Smart Live. It's taking place here in Toronto, Canada. And it's a full-day event with a very small, intimate group of entrepreneurs. We're going to be looking at mindset. And again, we're going to be spending a good chunk of the time helping you understand marketing, helping you understand the psychology behind the buyers, behind your people, what triggers them to buy, what words are going to get them into fast action, what you can use so that you can get your people to know that they need you right now and that you're the one who is here to help. And we want people to be looking at you like, oh my goodness, you're an answer to a prayer, or I can't believe this, but you're right on time. When you hear those kinds of words, then you know that your marketing and your intention has connected precisely. We want to help you with this marketing strategy, because marketing is all about bringing qualified leads. It's all about bringing people who actually need what it is that you are serving, and they can afford to buy it. It's not a problem, and they know what to do with it. So we want to help you when it comes to language, when it comes to the actual content that you put out, the different levels that you must hit so that you can get people to come to you effortlessly, so that, you know, at any given time, you're not looking at your calendar thinking, wow, I have nobody to talk to. I have no one to talk to. And then repeating the process over and again each time to get people to speak with you. I want that out of your life. I want you to have a repeatable process. I want you to always have a nice steady stream of people coming to you. I want you to have a sustainable and profitable marketing strategy. And I want you to actually speak to the people you intend to speak to, because you have these amazing things that you want to put out in the world. And it is time that you are seen. I believe that you will agree with me. So this is the thing. This remarkable event is usually $97. But for today and tomorrow only, it is $67. So that's $67 plus tax. You're saving $30 if you purchase your ticket now or tomorrow. And here's the other thing, just so that I can sweeten the deal here for you even more. So you're saving the $30, but just to make it a little bit more sweet for you, the first few people who register, we're still working with the numbers on that. So you just want to be one of the lucky few, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. They get a free ticket to the VIP reception right after the main event. So not only are you saving the $30, but you could also be amongst the number of the people who will be joining me for a very private mastermind after the main event. This is perfect for those who maybe had more questions at the end of the event, or were ruminating or something, and they still need a little bit more clarity. They need that to just, again, dig into my brain and get some more answers. It's also perfect for those who've made their connections throughout the day, while you get to deepen your connections in this really small group setting. My introspective style, means that I get you to answer the questions that you didn't even know you needed to hear answered, and you come out with the aha moments that help you move forward, so that you're not making the same mistakes. Mistakes are costly. I mean, yes, they're important. We need to make mistakes so that we can learn and grow. Unfortunately, for most people, they don't know what to learn from, because they don't know what they're supposed to grow toward to. And also, they don't have the tools or the coping skills or the mechanisms to understand and decipher what it is that they're going through and what they're supposed to take from it. And that's where people like me come in. So with over 21 years experience in sales and marketing, I have a really good handle on the machine, and I can help you make the wisest, fastest choices that will lead you to your results sooner, rather than, you know, you spending time and precious energy just trying to market out to what you think you're doing and what you think you know, when maybe you're also doing the right thing but at the wrong time. You know, there's also that. So it's really understanding what the pieces to the puzzle are, understanding where they fit, and what to do with each one of them. And once you have that under your belt, truly, you will find that you're making strides and that you're seeing success a little bit sooner than if you try to put pieces together on your own, or, you know, like, yeah, pretty much try and put pieces together on your own. You will get the results of what you put in. So you really want that hardcore, nice setup. And this is what the event is going to provide for you. So for the question for what social channel to use, it depends on where your person is. Wherever your person is, that's where you need to be. And the biggest clue for where your person is where do they go when they're filled with angst, when they need to make themselves feel a little bit better about their situation. That's where you want to be. That's really where you want to be, is where they are wasting time because they don't have a solution and they don't know what to do. And for the question, how many times should you post on social media? Yes, you can use the statistics that are already out there on each medium, you know, and I've given you a couple of, I've told you that with YouTube, you only need to post once or twice, once a week or once every 2 weeks. With Twitter, it's going to be a little bit more. With Facebook, you can get away with a couple times a week, and the actual stats are out there. But beyond that, it's really based on your revenue calendar. So on your, so how much do you need to make for this year? And that figure is brought up through an equation that we go into at the event. So how much do you need to make for the year? Well, what products and services will help you hit that revenue goal? Well, what campaigns do we need to set out so that you can hit those targets to get the right number of people speaking with you, or buying the product and service so that you can hit your numbers? And that's pretty much going to determine when you're posting, how you're posting, what you're posting, and more importantly, what stages you're speaking to people at, because everybody goes through a client buying journey, and you want to make sure that you're hitting all the different stages, which means giving the right information to the right person at the right time. For more on this, come out to my live event. I will go full depth into it, especially the psychology of your clients, what they're thinking when they're looking to buy, and how you can tap into that so that you can help them make the decision that's right for them, and that would be buying from you. As well as we're going to be creating your own personalized marketing strategy. So this is going to be like that awesomeness where like you come with what you've already been doing, and before that I give you that pre-frame and that template, and then we quickly fill that in, and I'm able to answer your questions so that when you walk out on April 27th, you have that thing that you can move forward with, and that's what I want for you. So I hope to see your name on the attendee list. I'm looking forward to seeing you on April 27th here in Toronto, Canada. Have an incredible rest of the evening and the day and the morning, depending on your time zone. Okay,